The following Hōʻike production has been made possible in part by the Rice Street Business Association and Kauaʻi Family Magazine.
Now therefore I, Derek Leslie Kauaʻi, Mayor, County of Kauaʻi, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as Mu'umu'u Month. Yeah! And we encourage residents and visitors alike to participate by wearing mu'umu'u and supporting local designers and embracing the cultural traditions that unite our island community. Thank you so very, very much. God bless all.
I'm Shannon Hiramoto, and I'm the founder of Mu'umu'u Month. It's something that I started in 2015 on a whim, pretty much, and over the years, it's just become this community movement that has been embraced by the local community. We are in the 12th annual Mu'umu'u Month this year. So at first it was just me and a few ladies. It was a social media thing, and so whoever saw it on social media in those first few days hopped on board. And over the years, it just picked up more and more ladies that joined it, and now it's throughout the whole state. And people do it in their own ways. So businesses have taken it, and nonprofits have taken it, and individuals just find it as a way to self-express. It's really cool. Mayor Derek Kawakami each year does a mayoral proclamation, and we invite the public, but also county workers to take their lunch break and get a great photo together and wear our mu'us for a nice photo with the mayor, who always dresses so well. Between the events that the Kauaʻi Historical Society has organized and individuals and other businesses, there's a whole lot of things happening. So throughout the month, you can find mu'u pop-up markets. We've got a keiki art activity night at Hanapepe Art Night with Fonda's daughter and other artists. There's a mu'umu'u dance party at Common Ground. And Grove Farm Museum does free tours during Mu'u Month. And it all culminates at the big Mu'umu'u Pa'ina fundraiser at Smith's Tropical Gardens.
Aloha mai kākou. I'm Pam Chock, and I am the executive director here at the Kauaʻi Historical Society. Shannon felt when she came to the Historic Society was that helping and our mission to preserve the history of Kauaʻi and Ni'ihau, but also the history of mu'umu'u in Hawaii. So the Mu'umu'u Pa'ina event we started with Shannon Hiramoto in 2020. It was such a wonderful event. It was small and yet really fun and beautiful. And that was the beginning of our Mu'umu'u collaboration. We've had the privilege and the honor of having our event at the Smith Tropical Garden, which is so beautiful because it's a backdrop for all of these beautiful aloha wear, mu'umu'u, aloha shirts, and just people coming to have a fun time. So we are so, so thankful.
You can find all of the events at the Kauaʻi Historical Society's social media and webpage.
How many mu'umu'u do you guys have each? So how many do you have, Shannon?
I've got about 40 in rotation. And every year I add maybe 5, get rid of 5, but my goal right now, like over the last few years, is to have one of each major brand. So that's why I sometimes get rid of some, because I want to allow in the other brands, and there's only so much closet space I have.
How about you, Pammy?
I think I'm probably a good 30.
Okay.
And I believe I have one of most of the older designers. So I know I have an Alan Akina or 2. I have a few Mamohaos, and I do have Nakeu and some of the designers that are still with us. But so I think about maybe 30.
What sort of functions do you wear it? Do you just wear it anywhere?
It's not casual. I always think of mu'u as being special. So we would, I wouldn't wear it to the beach or, it's always meant to, intended to wear when it's someplace really nice and, you need a nice dress to wear for something special.
Yeah, I think that's the real crux of why pop American culture doesn't understand it. Like our conception of the mu'u is so different than their conception of it. They do consider it to be a house dress, and for us, that wasn't the case. Like they were something you wear to celebrate, to feel great.
Yeah.
I do think there's a wide spectrum. Like for every occasion, there is a mu'u for that occasion, and for every type of person, there is a mu'u too.
For sure.
And so, can you speak to why mu'us are so special to you?
For me, it's because I've always worn a mu'u. This is not a new thing for me. And I'm not going to, say how old I am, but I think it's I've always worn a mu'u. I've gone to parties and places where I've been the only one wearing one. And today I can go to a party and everybody's wearing a mu'u. I love that. I grew up with that during that era, and I'd walk into the bank and everybody had aloha wear on Fridays, or most places in Hawaii for a very long time we all wore aloha wear. There was never a time that it wasn't around, and I'm so thankful that we still have designers and people that are making this and keeping that available for all of us, the next generation. And my daughters today wear mu'u, so it's full circle,
And
right?
not just in January.
Not just in January. We go to church, we go to a special party, whatever it is. Mu'u is part of our lifestyle today.
I love that Hawaii had this special industry, this special style. I love how it's changed over the generations, from the missionary times to plantation times to the 80s to now. I just think it's a way to track history in a very artistic, creative way through design and commercialism too. Like to see the booming industry that was here is really interesting to track through this dress. And when I hear of a brand like an Alanakina or a Mamo, it's a marker in time, and it's a marker of the vibe of the day, the essence of the day, like a time capsule and like a snapshot. And so to be able to have that in your personal collections, like just a way to kind of anchor yourself in history and to like keep the connection to what makes Hawaii so unique and different. In fashion, we are at the mercy right now in the present day with fast fashion and things not being made in a special way, in a conscious way, in a sustainable way. And so the mu'u really does harken back to not only a time where clothing was really intentionally made, but also by wearing a vintage dress or a handmade dress, it's truly sustainable. It's part of the overall like secondhand circular way of living that will sustain us.
What would you say to maybe somebody who's only ever been exposed to mu'u commercially and not been raised with wearing it or been able to really kind of participate in something like mu'u month?
Well, I think, part of it is our climate is conducive for wearing mu'u all year. So, if you live in Hawaii, you look for things that are comfortable, that are, you can wear indoors or outdoors, because we do a lot of both in our daily lives. And so I think that is one thing you'll find is you'll be drawn to it because of our climate and our lifestyle in Hawaii. And so I think it's an organic thing that happens to someone who's coming to Hawaii or who's moved here, who's getting accustomed to our lifestyle, and it's just part of our culture. And it's gone away, but it's back. And believe me, we are so happy and very thankful, that this is back, because it's back, and it's not going to go anywhere right now. As far as I hope not. So if we keep doing this, right?
Yeah. If anything, I feel like it's gaining traction and becoming
we sure hope so.
Yeah, much more like
more mainstream.
Yeah, more mainstream. That's what I was thinking.
What it's also done for, for the for men's aloha wear, it's really also done the same thing for that, designers are making beautiful aloha shirts for men to wear. And men, I think for the most part, have still kept, but it's grown also. And it's made such a wonderful recovery. So all of the Hawaii designers and manufacturers are really happy, I think, with where we are now, because they can pass this on to their children and grandchildren who are running their businesses today and designing, right?
And for the time that it was sort of, I guess, taken away, it's like you said, it's back.
It's back.
Yeah, there was a period where maybe the mu'u was forgotten or misunderstood, or
you couldn't buy it.
You couldn't find any.
Why do you think that is? What are your thoughts?
People stopped making them. Other than like designers like Manuhe Ali'i, who have a retail online, Nakeu, Sig Zane, Mamohao. There are just a handful of them that were still in Honolulu, in Hawaii, that were you could pick up an aloha shirt or a mu'u, but they were far and few. There are not a lot. Today, there's many more. We have Simply Sisters, Lex Breezy, all these different new designers that have come on, and they are still also making their new designs with mu'u in their collection, which is really nice.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the fashion is still kind of like the traditional lines, the traditional like sleeve lengths and stuff, or are you seeing more like modernized type coming from those designers?
Both, yeah. You see the whole range. I think there's a lot of people who want to harken back to the original, more elegant style.
Mutton.
Yeah, mutton sleeves, high collar, ruffles, and then you see the casual. Like Pammy's wearing one that's pretty casual.
I'm a Manuhe Ali'i. Yeah. This is one of her mu'u, and yours is Princess Kaiolani.
It's an Andrade, and it's a Betty knockoff Andrade.
Andrade. So Andrade's was another store that you could go into. They had a store here at the Coconut Marketplace, and they you could go in there and get, I don't know if you knew that, next to Livery House, and they sold mu'u there, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that happened. Maybe a lot of these local retailers went out of business, and they were the main outlet for the designers to sell through. So Liberty House, like Carol and Mary's, McInerney's, Andrade's. So when these distribution points went out of business, then the actual designers had nowhere to sell their dresses.
Imports,
yeah, and a lot of that was like maybe the internet had something to do with it. Like the economy just shifted, the industry shifted in the 2000s. And so it's, restarting a trend is a little hard because it's out of people's comfort zone to wear something that's like out of style. But Mu'u Month was a time to not feel uncomfortable and to embrace the challenge of it and make it more mainstream and normalize it. And by creating all the events, you have a place to wear them and you don't feel so awkward. And now it feels normal.
Yeah, to see them in February and March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, we get calls here. I get emails and calls from people asking about their, from Maui or from the Big Island. They want to do a mu'u event, or they're asking. And of course, we want to help, that all of it just continue. And so it's always nice when we get those emails or calls asking for just, asking questions, whatever they are. And if we can help, because it just keeps it going.
What are some of the most favorite surprises that has happened during these Mu'u Month events from 2015 to now?
A couple that come to mind are like Puamana Crab, who was a designer back in the 80s, 90s, who was basically in retirement and has recently come out with new collections. And she's done a fashion show and she's teaching people how to sew. She's really basically re-emerged on the scene. And so seeing that is really cool because these are like living treasure designers of Hawaii. And to see that appreciation and the community that is like set up now to recognize that is really cool. And then I have to say when Honolulu Museum of Arts recently did Fashioning Aloha as a whole exhibition for months in their main galleries, two of the main galleries at Homa. That was incredible. And that was a whole retrospective of aloha wear. And I mean, I don't know if Mu'u Month takes credit for that, but we were a part of it. And I think that it is like the momentum of it all coming together to see that happen.
That's amazing.
And we'll see more, hopefully, you know, in the future. But it's a good thing. And I think we are watching this evolve into, you know, just for our community, because I think it's also a celebration of beautiful things and just a time to have fun. I for myself, I think my surprise has been to see so many young people, you know, wanting to find these vintage mu'umu'u, and they look as beautiful as they did in these photographs that we have of women in the, you know, in the 50s, 60s, just beautiful today. And they've, you know, some people have had to patch their vintage works together, and, you know, but beautiful. And just so it's just, I remember, I guess maybe because my mom wore a lot of these in the past, Guadalupe and her things, and just, you know, seeing it come back, and it's so nice. Yeah, that's for
I'll
me.
tag on to that seeing young designers emerge is really
Yes,
exciting. So the
yes.
first time we did the Mu'u Pa'ina at Smith's, we had like a fashion design and sewing contest. That was like our main entertainment event. And we just threw it out to the public. If you want to make something, make a mu'u and model it. And it was amazing to see young designers create these amazing garments, and how excited they were to be able to present what they had created. And also older women too were happy to be able to sew something and to really like spark their creativity. It was awesome.
You know, and thankfully people are sewing again, and that, you know, so they're sewing new mu'umu'u, and I always think the sewers are the ones that don't get recognized in this process, because they're really the back of house. And, you know, but if without them we wouldn't have these beautiful garments come to market, or we wouldn't be able to, just, we're so thankful for all the sewers that are still sewing, and all the little sewing houses that are still selling fabric. And, you know, they're far and few. There's not a lot of us.
It's hard to sew. I sew for work, and it's hard. And I've sewn myself maybe 6 mu'umu'u, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fabric. It's a lot of patience. Yeah. They're not that easy to make.
No, they're not.
Is there anything else that maybe you would like to add that I've not covered? Like, is there any specific message you'd like to tell people as they travel through the 12th annual Mu'umu'u Month?
Yeah, I'd say that it's such a great invitation to have a conversation. It's a great way to make a friend, I mean, they automatically, when you're wearing a mu'u and somebody recognizes that it is a mu'umu'u, they just beeline it to you, and they want to tell you a memory that they have. They want to tell you about their tutu or when they were a kid. Yeah. And it really is like a key to unlock chit chat. And that is what I think we all need in today is a way to have a simple interactions, make a friend, smile at each other, and connect by sharing our stories. And that's what the month is all about. It's like a smile that you wear and other people recognize it, and it makes them smile too.
Uniquely Hawaiian, uniquely Kauaʻi, and
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Of course.